Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you for joining me on my channel, The UK Crafter. It's 24 hours since we made our soap, poured it into a mould and put it to bed. Let's go and take it out. So, we've taken our soap out of its hidey hole. It's still wrapped in a towel. And we have here a board and some greaseproof paper that we're going to unwrap our soap onto. And then a nice sharp knife that we're going to use to cut our soap into bars. Let's unwrap. So, let's take it out. Here we have our mould that we've made our soap in. This has been resting for 24 hours. Now, because we used paper to wrap it in to line the mould, that just comes out. And you can use that mould again for more soap. And this is a nice hard bar of soap. Well, I say hard, it's you can press it and your finger will go in, but it's solid. This paper will just come off. Now notice, and I should have said this already, I'm wearing gloves when I'm doing this, and that's because there will still be a lot of the lye solution, that sodium hydroxide and water solution, in this soap. And if you touch it with your bare hands, you may still burn yourself slightly. So always wear gloves when you're taking it out after 24 hours. We'll take the paper off. So once you've removed all of your cellophane or greaseproof paper from around your soap, as you'll see, if I press it, you can see it, you might be able to see it's leaving an indent in the soap. So at the moment it's still quite soft, although it has set. Once we've cut this is the best time to cut this into bars because it is soft enough for a knife to go straight through. You don't have to though, you can leave it like this and cut it in a few days, in a few weeks, but it will get harder and harder and it will make it more difficult to cut. Also, as it cures, the outside will dry out a bit. It actually loses water content as it cures and it will shrink slightly and the outside will dry out a little bit. So if you don't cut it now, if say we left this and cut this in 4 weeks, you might find it just crumbles a little bit around the edge as you cut it. So this is the best time to cut. And literally all we're going to do is take a knife, pop it on here, excuse me, and just cut it into sort of nice sized bars. Get the knife out. It is actually still quite soft, but that's going to be fantastic when we use that in the bath or shower. Gosh. Slice through there. I think I have a big enough knife. And then we'll slice that through there. And we'll end up with 5 very nice sized bars. Now, they're not fantastically neat. I quite like the fact that they're like this. It gives it, like I said when we were making this, it gives it that kind of nice homemade feel. You can make this in neater moulds, and in fact I used to make a lot of soap in purpose-built moulds that were so that I got really nice sized and nice shaped bars. They were completely smooth and flat all the way around. And perfect for wrapping up and selling on a market stall or in a shop. But you don't have to do that. Don't worry if it looks like this, it's still going to be fantastic to use. It's still soft enough at the moment as well just to sort of mould into a nicer shape if you want to, but you don't have to. And all we're going to do now with this is we're going to put it somewhere out of harm's way, so you don't want children or animals to get hold of this because it's still got that sodium hydroxide content in there. You just put this away somewhere safe for about 4 weeks, and the thing to do with it would be to about once a week just come along and just turn it onto a different side. And the reason why you're doing that is to let the air get to it all the way around, so as it cures you're making sure that all the sodium hydroxide in there is turned into a nice lovely soap that's nice to use. You want to make sure that you clean your knife and any surfaces that you've cut your soap on thoroughly, because this will still have sodium hydroxide in it. And also make sure that you dispose of anything like this, any paper or cling film that you've used to line your soap mould with, because there are bits of the soap stuck to this And if children or animals, or even you, if you put your hand on this without protection, you'll find that your skin will feel like it's burning. So it's very important to make sure that you dispose of this carefully, wash up thoroughly after yourself, and just make sure that you stay safe. So we've cut up our soap and we've put it to one side in a safe place where it won't be disturbed by animals, children, or anyone curious wanting to know what it is. You'll need to leave it for at least 4 weeks, perhaps 6, but it shouldn't be any longer than 6 weeks before you use it for the first time. Remember to go back once a week and just turn your soap so that it gets aerated all the way around. That way it'll cure properly. In about 4 weeks' time, use your soap for the first time, but just use it to wash your hands. And if it feels uncomfortable at all, put it back in the safe place for another week or 2 before you use it again. And that's it. Join me next time when we'll be making something exciting for the shower.